Hiya folks, welcome to my test flight of my long range budget quad, and we're going to do some test flying on this just to make sure that everything's working correctly. This is not the GPS enabled or anything, this is just a flight check just to make sure everything's working right and there's no issues and the tune is okay, and we're trying out the hover value, some simple moves just to make sure that there's no prop wash or any other tuning issues, no trilling or anything like that, which I'm happy to say I did have a little bit of prop wash. I tried it at multiple directions just to see if it was the odd wind or anything like that. I did get a little bit, but I am running a slightly chipped prop on the front right hand side. Also, the bi blades could be causing it, but it's nothing. It's nothing that's bad. It's just slight. Um, I'm not going to be flying this like freestyle. This is just a shakedown test. That's all it is, a shakedown test. I managed to get the motors to come down a little bit cooler. It was hardly warm at all to the touch. I'd say the back ones were a tad more than the front, but I'm talking very, very minimal. Most people wouldn't even notice it. I'm also checking out the hover value in angle mode because you're going to need that when you set up the GPS. The thing is that when you do the parameters, you got to make sure that it's going to, when you flick it over to GPS rescue or return to home or whatever, it's got to go into angle mode, and it's got to go into a hover first and foremost before it does anything else. So I'm recording things in my head as I'm flying this about, just to make notes of little things like that. I did a filter tune which is a little bit better, not much, but it seemed to have cooled the motors down a little bit more. And yeah, it's just basically a shakedown test. Now I'm flying on 450 milliamp an hour batteries on this, which I wouldn't normally fly. They're way too small. I usually go for a 550 upwards, up to an 850, whatever, or anywhere in between. And these are old tattoo batteries, not the gold line, which I normally fly. These are the older type, the gold and black ones, and these are old. These are very old. I'm getting round about over 6 minutes on each battery doing, because I took two with me, doing freestyle and just general mucking about, which I thought was quite good for those old batteries. One of them I had a crash with. It's got a dent in the battery, one of the cells, and it's got they were actually like a banana at one point. um they they were they were bent where I had a crash, and I bent them back with my fingers. Now this was years ago, and it's the worst battery. I was going to use it as a transmitter battery only because it just didn't seem to hold the charge. But I'm actually flying with that one on this one of these flights, and I'm still getting over 6 minutes on that damaged battery. So yeah, I don't think it's done too bad. There was no wind on this particular day. Um, I've tried it on tri blades, and it pretty much seems the same. I mean, thrust is good on it, but it's not really going to be used for that. So it's just it's just for long range, really, for exploring and stuff. Uh, as you can see, the camera's okay, and it's on hardly any tilt at all. Probably 5 degrees, but I can't do anything about that. But I can see pretty well out of it. Other things. Yeah, I'm not getting any trilling or any tuning issues at all. It all seems okay. Quad feels a little bit heavy when I'm coming 0 throttle. Oh, and by the way, that's when I seem to be getting the prop wash. When I do a power loop, I go to 0 throttle. Now, if I power up while I'm doing the power loop, it's fine. It's only because it's on 0 throttle that just as I sort of come out of it, it starts like a little prop wash. So maybe it's the weight of it that's doing it. I don't know. It doesn't feel floaty. It does come down quite fast. So that could be the reason why. Maybe tri-blades would get rid of that and give me a little bit more air time, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, the recording was down to me. It wasn't the SD card, although I did format it. It turned out to be I had it on the wrong setting. I had it to record to VRX rather than the VT. No, I had it record to VTX rather than VRX, and this is where I've uploaded the video from. And then I transferred it over to an SD card, and that's what you're watching now. This is my second flight, and again, I'm just pretty much going through the same thing. Just flying about and checking that everything's okay before I go back to the bench and plug it all into Betaflight and set up the GPS, which I've never done before. I've watched a few videos from it. Oh, and I'm on Betaflight 4.5, I think it is. So that's the one where the devs sorted out all the issues with the GPS. So I'm on that. I think it's 4.6 it's on now, but anyway, the important part is it's on 4.5, which is where they sorted out the GPS issues. I've also got a barometer on here as well. I've got no magnetometer, and they advise you not to use a magnetometer because it can be a real pain to set it up, and it causes a few issues. So the barometer is actually a lot better because it'll the return to home and everything works much better on it. Yeah, so we're all set now to stick it on the old Betaflight and set up the return to home and everything. I've never done that before, so I'm still watching videos and trying to suss it all out. Seems easy enough. There's a low pass through there I've done just to make sure that everything's good. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's worked out really good considering I've had to, retune everything and do all the filters on it. I don't think I've done a bad job. We'll have to see. But yeah, everything seems quite stable, and we're ready to move on to the next stage. I've enjoyed this build, and I highly recommend it. If you know a little bit about putting whoops together and stuff like that, build your own quad. Get it in your head what you want, the frame, what kind of peripherals you want to add to them. Doesn't have to be a GPS. I just did this one because it was different, because it was digital plus I wanted a GPS in it. But you can think of whatever you want and build one. It's brilliant, and only you will know what's gone into it. So it's yours basically, and if anything goes wrong, you'll know straight away what to do or where to look for. Highly recommend it. It's great fun. Yeah, so this is all ready now. and I'm quite pleased with the results. It's not running hot. I didn't get any VTX warnings other than, when I'm on the ground messing around with the goggles, it came up that it's starting to overheat. But once I got up in the air, it was fine. It came right down. The GPS that I've got on this is a fast lock, so it should acquire GPS pretty quick. And I might set it so that I don't have to muck around too much with the arming and everything. It will find its own way when it's flying, and it'll get the GPS that way, rather than sitting there in the hot sun waiting for GPSs to be acquired. But that's something I'm gonna have to muck around with. Yeah, so I'm well chuffed with it. Works lovely. Seems to fly okay, for my intended purposes, and battery life seems good, especially for a 450. So I'm really surprised about that. The bi-blades will be more efficient than the tri-blades, but I'm gonna have a muck around with that at a later date and see, if I can get it to be a bit more sort of like floaty on it. But noise was okay as well. It's pretty quiet until you punch it. Yeah, so that's it really. Not much to tell. Next video will probably be about the GPS and stuff like that. Return to home. I haven't got that far yet. But as far as I'm concerned, this is all ready to go now, ready to be put into GPS mode and doing all the test flights and making sure that it's not going to fly back to China. Make sure it all lands, comes back. This is a nice long field. This is where I'll be testing all that. It's 800 meters long, and then there's another 2 commons behind that. So it goes for about, I don't know, 2 kilometers. So we'll have to try that once it's all set up. But yeah, that's about it really. I mean, it was really been fun doing this, and looking forward to my next build, which I've already got set up. All I need is a flight controller. I'll be doing another one. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.